I saw the notification at 4:17 a.m. Couldn't sleep. Haven't slept in weeks. The screen lit up my ceiling like a strobe light, and there it was. My mother's face. Her smile. The one she saves for public performances. Finally rid of my broke daughter. She has $0 in her savings. Good luck to her new landlord. 2,400 likes. I watched the number climb. 2,401, 2,403. Each like a tiny knife. My thumb hovered over the screen, and I remember thinking, don't throw the phone. You can't afford a new one. That's the joke, isn't it? The thing they all knew about me. The thing they'd been saying behind my back for years, and now right to my face in bold letters, for the entire world to validate. I didn't cry. Not then. I just scrolled. My brother's comment came in at 4:23 a.m. She'll be back in a week begging for rent money. She's a total failure. 47 people liked that one. 47. I counted. I counted every single one, like I was keeping score in a game I didn't know I was playing. My fiancé, can you believe it? We picked out China, he chimed in at 5:01. Glad I escaped that sinking ship. 50 comments. 50 strangers and relatives and people I'd hugged at holidays, all of them typing little laughing emojis, all of them agreeing that I was exactly what they said I was. Broke. Failure. Sinking ship. Here's the thing nobody tells you about humiliation. It doesn't feel hot. It doesn't make you cry. It makes you cold. So cold you can't feel your fingers. So cold you sit on your studio apartment floor, the one with the leak in the bathroom and the landlord who forgets your heat, and you just freeze. I'd moved out 6 weeks earlier. 6 weeks, 3 days, and 11 hours. Not that I was counting. My mother had given me an ultimatum: get a real job or get out. I was working too. Barista in the mornings, freelance graphic design at night. But to her, if it didn't come with a 401k, it wasn't real. So I packed one suitcase, the black one with the broken zipper, and I left. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed, wearing that blue bathrobe she's had since 2007. You'll be back, she said. You always come back. I didn't answer. Couldn't. My throat had closed up somewhere between the guest bedroom, my childhood room, now a storage unit for her exercise equipment, and the front door. That was February 14th, Valentine's Day. I spent that night eating ramen on a cardboard box because I couldn't afford a chair yet. But I was out. I was free. And for 3 weeks, I was almost happy. Then April came. Then the savings ran out. Then the eviction notice arrived, taped to my door on a Tuesday, and I stood in the hallway in my socks, reading it 3 times, because the words kept rearranging themselves into something less permanent. $0 in her savings. She wasn't wrong. That's what killed me. She wasn't wrong. The morning after the Facebook post, I didn't sleep, remember, so morning is just when the sun finally bothered to show up. I did something I still don't fully understand. I opened my laptop. I screenshotted every comment, every like, every laughing emoji. I saved them in a folder called Motivation. Then I blocked them. All of them. My mother. My brother. My ex. The aunt who commented sad but true. The cousin who wrote, she always was dramatic. 42 people. I went through my entire contact list like I was pruning dead branches off a tree. And then I waited. 12 days. 12 days of eating peanut butter from the jar. 12 days of my phone staying silent, because who's going to call the broke failure? 12 days of staring at my reflection in the dark window of my studio, wondering if they were right. If I was right to leave. If I'd made every wrong choice, stacked them like dominoes, and now here I was, watching them fall. On day 7, I almost called her. My thumb hovered over her name. Mom. I could hear her voice already. I told you so. I always told you. I put the phone down. On day 9, the landlord slipped another notice under my door. Red ink this time. Final. I sat on the floor, the same spot, the same socks, the same cold, and I let myself feel it. All of it. The shame. The anger. The tiny, whispering voice that said maybe they're right. And then I got up. I got up and I made one phone call. Not to her. To the lawyer I'd been too scared to contact. The one about the patent. The one I'd been sitting on for 18 months, because what if it was nothing? What if I was nothing? Day 12. I was standing in my kitchen, linoleum peeling, faucet dripping, one plate to my name, when my phone lit up. Not a call. A news alert. My thumb was shaking when I unlocked the screen. Local designers tech patent acquired for $4.20 million. The room didn't spin. The floor didn't fall out. I just stood there, holding my phone, watching the notifications start to roll in. 45 missed calls. 110 messages. My mother, baby, I'm so proud of you. I always knew you could do it. My brother, hey sis, remember that joke I made? Just kidding. Listen, I need to ask you something. My ex, I never should have let you go. Can we talk? Please. And 52 other people. All of them proud. All of them happy for you. All of them asking for loans, for help, for a piece of the person they'd buried 12 days ago. I didn't cry when I saw the post. I didn't cry when the comments came in. I didn't cry when the eviction notice arrived, or when I ran out of peanut butter, or when I sat on that cold floor wondering if I deserved to exist. But standing there in that kitchen with that phone in my hand, I laughed. And then I blocked every single one of them again. Every single one. But here's the thing about blocking people. About walking away. About telling yourself you're done. It doesn't stop the phone from ringing. And right now at 3:47 a.m., 12 hours after the news broke, someone is pounding on my door. Someone who isn't supposed to know where I live. Someone who is screaming my name through the wood. And I haven't moved from this chair in 45 minutes. I know that voice. I've known it my whole life. The way it sharpens at the edges when she's angry. The way it softens when she wants something. Right now, it's neither. Right now, it's desperate. And that's somehow worse. Open the door. Please. I just want to talk. My mother. 12 days after she posted my humiliation for the world to see. 12 days after she called me a broke failure. And now she's here at 3:47 a.m. because suddenly I'm worth $4.2 million. I don't move. The chair I'm sitting in is the only piece of furniture I own besides the cardboard box. It's a folding chair from a garage sale. Costs me $2. It wobbles. I love it. I know you're in there. I can see the light. Of course she can. The light is a single bare bulb hanging from a wire. The kind you find in basements and interrogation rooms. Fitting. I closed my laptop. The screen was still open to the folder. Motivation. 50 screenshots. 50 little graves. She pounds again. Harder this time. The wood is cheap, everything in this building is cheap, and I can hear it starting to splinter around the lock. Or maybe that's just my imagination. Maybe that's just the sound of every wall I've ever built, cracking. Here's what I haven't told you. The patent wasn't luck. It wasn't some lottery ticket I found in the gutter. I'd been working on that design since I was 23 years old. Nights. Weekends. The hours between my shifts at the coffee shop and the hours before my freelance deadlines. I'd show my mother sketches sometimes, back when I still lived with her. Back when I still believed she might look at me like I was something other than a disappointment. She'd glance at the paper. That's nice, sweetie. Have you applied to that accounting program yet? I stopped showing her after the third time. The lawyer cost me $800 I didn't have. I paid him in installments, $50 here, $75 there, until he stopped returning my calls. I thought I'd lost it. I thought I'd let it slip through my fingers like everything else. But I hadn't. And now here she is. Here they all are. And I'm still sitting in this folding chair in this apartment I'm about to be evicted from, and I can't tell if I'm winning or losing anymore. I said some things I shouldn't have. Her voice cracks. I've heard her cry before. At funerals. At weddings. When the dog died in 2014. But I've never heard her cry like this. Like she's the one who's been wronged. I stand up. My legs are shaking. Not from fear. From something else. Something that feels like a fist opening after years of being clenched. I walk to the door. Slowly. Each step deliberate. The floor creaks in the same 3 places it always creaks. I put my hand on the deadbolt. It's cheap brass. The landlord installed it himself, and it's never worked quite right. You have to jiggle it. Please. I drove 2 hours. I need to see you. 2 hours. She drove 2 hours. Not when I was moving out. Not when I was eating ramen on a cardboard box. Not when I was staring at an eviction notice. But now. Now she drives. I unlock the door. I don't open it. Through the wood, I can hear her breathing. Fast. Ragged. I can hear her shifting her weight from foot to foot. I can smell her perfume, the expensive one, the one she only wears when she's trying to impress someone. I'm proud of you, she whispers. I've always been proud of you. The lie hangs in the air between us. Heavy. Suffocating. And something inside me snaps. Not breaks. Snaps. Like a bone setting itself back into place. Like a rope finally cutting through the thing it's been tied to. I open the door. She's standing there in the hallway. Blue bathrobe. Slippers. Hair a mess. For a second, just a second, she looks like my mother. The one from before. The one who used to kiss my forehead and call me her little artist. Then she smiles. And I see it. The calculation behind her eyes. The quick scan of my apartment, the bare bulb, the folding chair, the cardboard box, the single plate in the drying rack. She's assessing. She's always assessing. Baby, she says, arms open. I'm so sorry. I don't move. She hesitates. Drops her arms. Can I come in? I lean against the doorframe. Cross my arms. The same way she used to do to me when I was 15 and coming home past curfew. No. The word hangs there. Small. Final. Her face shifts. Confusion first. Then something harder. Something I recognize. I drove 2 hours. You should have called first. You blocked me. I did. She stares at me. Waiting. Expecting me to fold. To cry. To let her in and make her tea and pretend the last 12 days didn't happen. I don't. I saw your post, I say. My voice is steady. I don't know where the steadiness is coming from. I saw every comment. Every like. I have screenshots. She blinks. I was upset. You left so suddenly. You threw me out. I gave you a choice. You gave me an ultimatum. And I chose. The silence stretches. Somewhere in the building, a baby is crying. A door slams. Normal sounds. Human sounds. And I'm standing here in my socks in front of the woman who gave me life, and I feel nothing. No, that's not true. I feel angry. But it's not the hot, messy anger I expected. It's cold. Clean. Surgical. She tries again. I'm your mother. I know. You can't just cut me out. Watch me. Her eyes widen. And for the first time in my life, I see something in them that isn't disappointment or judgment or calculation. I see fear. What about your brother? She asks. He didn't mean what he said. He was worried about you. He called me a total failure. In public. For 47 people to agree with. He's family. So was the cousin who called me dramatic. So was the aunt who said sad but true. So was my ex-fiancé, who you invited to Christmas dinner for 3 years, who called me a sinking ship. She has no answer for that. I step back. Into the apartment. My apartment. The one with the leak and the broken lock and the single light bulb. I'm not your daughter anymore, I say. Not the one you can kick around and then collect from. Not the one who comes back. That girl died in this apartment 12 days ago. And you know what killed her? She doesn't speak. You did. All of you. But here's the thing about dying. I smile. It's not a nice smile. Sometimes you get to come back as someone else. And then I close the door. I lock it. The cheap brass deadbolt. I jiggle it twice. On the other side, my mother starts to cry. Really cry. The kind of crying that echoes through hallways and haunts you for years. I walk back to my folding chair. I sit down. My phone is still lighting up with notifications. More messages. More calls. More people who suddenly remember my name. I don't block them this time. I just turn the phone off. Place it face down on the floor. And I sit in the dark, listening to my mother's footsteps retreat down the hallway, down the stairs, out of the building, out of my life. The eviction notice is still taped to the door. Tomorrow, I'll pay the rent. I'll buy a real chair. I'll call the lawyer and start the rest of my life. But tonight, I sit here. In the cold. In the quiet. And for the first time in 26 years, I am not afraid of being alone. I am afraid of nothing. Because the girl who had $0 in her savings? She's gone. And I am not her anymore.